you can see there are lots of expectations from this current administration as regards the flooding in some parts of the country. So watch this video, you'll be abreast with the latest developments concerning this. Okay.
By Idris is the director of the office, Director General of the other National Emergency Management Agency, that's NEMA. Also with me is the Director of Operational Technology at Nigeria's Hydrological Services Agency, Femi Bejide. Thank you, both of you, gentlemen. I mean, no better persons to give us a true, picture of what is happening, not just in Maiduguri, but across the country, the areas where, flooding, likely to impact more seriously. Let me start with you, Nema. I want to, or maybe hydrological services. You put out the warnings, right? And you tell the federal government, the state governments, communities, individuals, that they have to relocate because of the, flooding that they are prone to. Let's start with that first off. And what is in this, trend and all of that?
Yes, thank you. What we're experiencing for Nigeria Services Agency, NISA, responsibility to issue forecast, alerts to the nation. The need arises. And number two, we issue the national red flood alerts to the nations and to the state governments. But apart from that, every year, by the end of February or latest by March, we also a product that is called AFO, Annual Outlook. That this year, this is how the flood scenario will look like. And brother here, NEMA picks it up for their own preparedness and things like that. So, but the flooding we are experiencing now, generally speaking, there are two. There is flash flood and there is riverine flooding. So this one is just flash flood, precipitation, rainfall, excessive rainfall within a short period of time. It is causing this. And just flood, just much water. There's nothing bad in much water. There are so many places across the nation that are looking for water.
Absolutely.
So this much water is available, but where did they pass through the channels? So that's where the issue comes.
The challenges.
Yes, that is it.
Water.
So, and the one we are experiencing just recently and currently in Borno and things like that, maybe later on we get there, is just still also, it's not river flooding. That's one we are still expecting.
So it could get worse before it gets better. Let me bring in Idris Mohammed, DG NEMA. I mean, what do you do with the information that they pass on to your agency? And what we have seen Borno State in Maiduguri, in Kaduna, could this have been avoided?
Thank you very much for having me. Let me introduce myself. My name is Idris Abubakar Mohammed. I'm the Special Assistant to the Director General, Zubaida Umar. Furthermore,
thanks for
at NEMA, it is always a double-edged sword when the rainy season comes in. Too much rain, we have flood. Too less rain, we have drought, and gets compromised. For the incident recently across the country, the rainy season is currently the northern states, central states, in extreme flooding. The flood incident is very eventful. But I tell you, in the next days, floods are going to move southwards down to the Niger Delta area. So, for the very cut event that happened in Maiduguri in the night. This is an area that is already, Borno State is already amongst the worst hit states during the rainy season. Yeah. Then coupled with a breach of the Alawa Dam in Konduga local government, about 20 kilometers to Maiduguri metropolis. This heavy deluge, heavy inundation, and really the situation is a sudden onset, it's very devastating and a very dramatic event. And of course, NEMA, you already have an office in charge of the northeastern zone of Nigeria. Yeah,
but the question would be whether NEMA put measures in place to at least minimize the impact of this flooding that's the worst in 30 years in Borno State. Let's bring Nisi Gabriel's report now on the flooding situation in Kaduna State.
As the raining season approaches its peak, several communities in Kaduna State their fair share of flooding, as predicted by Nigeria Meteorological Agency, NIMET. In Lere local government area, a bridge on Saminaka has collapsed due to flooding, cutting off links to many other neighboring communities. The Kaduna State government has sent a high-powered delegation on flood impact assessment, led by his chief of staff, Sani Kila, to visit areas impacted by flood in the state.
This deserved a very serious and very urgent government attention. This bridge took up more than 5 communities, and you can see the level of damage. This is the worst. The committee was at Sanga yesterday. We have seen bridges, collapsed bridges, but those bridges we saw yesterday, we assessed yesterday, are never comparable to this one.
The Kaduna State government has assured the people that it will the bridge and address the plight of the community. Meanwhile, the local council chairman applauded the governor for his prompt response to the plight of the people.
He's going to do something urgently to address this issue. I'm surprised that members of this community have teamed off to erect structures there just to prevent erosion. Because what they did there, you as a journalist, I as a member of this community may not be able to access this particular location we are. I'm urging all members of this community to still exercise patience. They should still exercise. We are going to look at this issue critically, and very soon the issue here is going to be
a community. Marjeri links a lot of communities to the commercial center of the local government, that's Saminaka, which is the capital. It is very important. The road itself is very important. So the collapse of this bridge is like you excommunicate so many communities from accessing the center. And Lere local government is an entity. We are proud to say that if the needed support, we can feed the entire Africa, because we are the largest producers of grains, cereal crops in Sub-Saharan. So we really appreciate His Excellency. We appreciate this team. This is one of it with this kind of disaster in Lere local government.
After concluding its work, the Assessment Committee set up by the state is expected to make recommendations to Governor Uba Sani. Attributed to refuse dumps and unauthorized buildings on waterways. In response, the Kaduna State government is seeking federal assistance to address these problems and provide aid to the people. Nisi Gabriel, Arise News, Kaduna.
Thanks, Nisi, for that report. Gentlemen, every year we're here to talk about this. It keeps getting worse from year to year. You have this grin on your faces like, look, we know what the problems are, but there seems not to be the political will by the appropriate authorities to address these issues frontally. Is that where the problem lies? I mean, you were talking about, improper channeling or channelizing of water as a major factor here. What needs to be done urgently so that we're not about this next year?
All right.
Yes.
So,
When it comes to the issue of flood, I think it's time for the ordinary Nigerians to understand, first and foremost, the position, the geographic position of Nigeria.
Right.
Because when you're talking about flooding, like I was saying now, the sister